Hello and welcome all to the 60th part of the series on self-exploration, joining the dots, contemplating, comprehending and sharing it with you all raw. All that sounds great is the grace of all those who have blessed me, and all that sounds not so great is my limitation. So let's get going with the unpredictable. Unpredictable laws of nature, unpredictable responses of human systems. A famous book says we use the linear laws of deterministic predictability in a dynamic, non-linear, unpredictable human body. We try to determine, we try to predict responses of human body, which is a dynamic, non-linear, unpredictable entity. Very well said. A very personal experience. I was labeled with hearing loss in my early 30s with no family history, with no particular reason. We really did not know why it must have happened. After long many years, in my late 50s, I happened to converse with one homeopath, and she gave me a very interesting explanation of it. She said, you were going through an unpleasant time in your life, which is true. When this hearing loss was diagnosed for me, she said, you were going through an unpleasant time in your life when you did not want to hear what was being constantly poured into your ears. Constant nagging, constant humiliation, letting down. That my system did not want to hear. So your body chose to shut the ears. But dear, now you are out of that phase of your life. You would want to hear whatever is coming to your ears. So simply tell this to your body, tell this to your body that now that phase is over and you need not be hearing impaired and your body may revert the symptoms. A very interesting explanation. Unpredictable, difficult to believe for the linear laws, difficult for medical fraternity to take it. Our body is made up of cells, where each cell is an individual. As one expert says, I always feel all these cells in our body are like our kids. We are the ruler of those kids. Just like kids place their demands to their parents, to their mom, these cells keep telling us in their own language. So many times we do not understand what the kid really wants. They speak in their weird wordings, weird vocabulary which we are unable to decode. Or sometimes we understand what they are asking, but we deny giving the same for an array of reasons. Discipline, health, hygiene, social norms, blah blah. We make them do what we want and not what they want to do. We do the same to ourselves also, and eventually to our bodies, because our body is nothing but a congregation of millions and millions of cells. Then, just like the kids throw away everything at one point and start crying loudly for the candy or chocolate or toy that they want, They can sit on roads, create tantrums to get what they want. Our bodies also start expressing in weird ways unexplainable to medical sciences. Just like our minds are not predictable, what the cells' minds will think, how they will react and respond to a particular situation, linear medical sciences can neither predict nor diagnose. It is not always possible to correct. It is not always possible to correct what the body is trying to do. Just like it is not always possible or not always correct to give the children what they ask. But when we hug them tight, explain with love, genuinely share our problems and views, explain to them how it is in their betterment that we are not giving them something. However young, kids do understand. They understand the language of a tight hug. They understand the language of a communicating eye, of a sweet kiss, of a pat on their back. And then they come out better than grown-ups. Better than grown-ups. They do understand. They agree. And then they will not be stubborn kids. They will completely cooperate. When explained with love, when we put in a lot of trust in them. Body is no different. We own each cell in our body. We own each cell in our body. And when the cell develops the sense of belonging to the whole body, it cooperates. When the child develops the sense of belonging, trust with the parent, it cooperates. So does our cell. Otherwise it rebels. If we spank the child, if we let the child down, he is going to rebel. He may not rebel externally because he has less power than us, but internally he is going to rebel. He is going to keep a grudge in his mind for us. As our cells are to us, we are to the universal existence. An extrapolation of the same idea, we have discussed this earlier also, that our cells make our body and we make the universal body. The universal consciousness is what we call as the Vishwaman, that resides in the universal body of the Virata Purush. When we develop the sense of belonging towards the universe, we cooperate with it. If we don't, we rebel. Same laws what the cells of our body have with us, we have with the universe. When our cells rebel with us or amongst themselves, the body is in dis-ease, it is not at ease. So it is diseased. When the disease in our body increases beyond a certain level, we die. When this dis-ease in our body increases beyond a certain level that is not possible for our immune system to cope up, it rides over the life in our body and we die. Similarly, when we rebel with the universe or amongst ourselves, the universe is in a dis-ease. There's a lot of discord, disturbance in the universe. When that increases beyond a certain level in the universe also has to die. It has to come to an end, and this end is called as pralaya. After we die, we are reborn with a new set of cells and a fresh understanding. From where do these cells come? From where do these cells come? Law of conservation of matter says it is neither created nor destroyed. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. It just keeps changing, rearranging itself when forms change. Like the pieces of glass in a kaleidoscope, when we move it, the same pieces of glass make a different conformation. So what sounds new to us, new body, new design, is actually nothing new. Nothing new. The same pieces dismantle and come together, sounding like a new composition. It is the same clay from where a pulp is pulled off, a toy is made, and then again put back into the same clay. Do we realize this? Independent existence of our cells makes us. Our each cell has an independent existence per se. It has its own cell wall to keep its individuality. It has its own metabolism, taking in food particles, dissolving it, digesting it, giving it out, coming to birth, dying, reproducing. Wow, a cell is an individual. And as long as I wish to exist, as long as I wish to exist, I will wish the cells to exist independently. I cannot afford merger of cells. I will talk of the cells in alignment and falling out of alignment that will define my healthy or diseased condition. When my cells are in alignment, I'll call my cells healthy, and when they are falling out of alignment, I'll call my cells diseased. If my cells start showing discord, I will try to bring harmony to them so that I exist as this form, because I know that if the discord goes beyond an extent, I will stop existing, I will have to die. But when I realize that just like my body has cells with cell walls, I am a cell in the universal body, and this I of mine is my cell wall, my boundary that I have put around me and restricted my existence to that. A wall that is binding me, separating me, limiting me. There will come the urge to break these walls, and then there won't be any urge to keep this body. No urge to keep this body. When I die, there will be no body, and this will be the urge of I to come out of the feeling of body. It's a complicated thought. It's a complicated thought. Very difficult to comprehend, to put in words. The urge of ekoham bahusyam, the purpose of this universe coming into existence, as explained by the Vedas, is that the lone power, the sole existence, developed an urge of becoming many. Ekoham, I am one. Bahusyam, I wish to become many. that initiated in the universal consciousness, and that began the game. The one consciousness got divided in many fractions, just like the same sun reflects in 1,000 mirrors. Just like we may make many clay articles from one clay ball, and when we are done with the game, we just fuse all those clay articles and make it into a big ball again. When the universal consciousness will be done with the game, all our forms and figures will be fused and the game over. Till then, the clay articles do not have the power to physically break the barriers of their forms. Because he is the sole controller, he is the player of the game. But being a toy, being a cell, being an I, they can certainly understand this game plan. Oh, someone is playing. Someone is making me the pawn and playing. Actually, I'm not the pawn. And when they have really understood this game plan of the player, with the cell walls also, with the cell walls around them also, they start behaving as if no cell wall, no boundary. The me and the you will wash out from their consciousness, and they will become the minuscules of the universal consciousness in the real sense. They will look like having cell walls, but they will be the minuscules of that no cell wall consciousness. They will look like other cells, but still they will be different. Their responses will be different. Their non-existing existence will be different. They become the visual forms of the universal consciousness, as they are seen due to the cell wall, but they are not. They are seen due to the cell wall, but they are not. Who are these entities? They are called as messengers. They are called as the divine coming down, the gurus, the messengers. They are there, but they are not there. Another complicated thought. Simple if we reach to the core of it. Their doing is not doing then, because they are not there. So whatever they are doing is not doing. Karmi akarma zopahe. Karmanya karmaya pashed akarmani cha karmaya. A very, very insightful shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Karmi akarma zopahe. Not doing in doing, in a very different perspective. That connects this thought to the karma thought put up by experts. Difficult exploration, shaped up to some extent. We can go on talking on this maybe some other time. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for some more such thought explorations. Bye.